The following podcast is a little fiery but mostly peaceful. If you're an automaton, turn away now and shelter in place. If you're a Catholic ready to renew your prescriptions of red pills and white pills, stay tuned. This boy's making more noise than a couple of skeletons throwing a fit on a tin roof. As senior rooster around here, it's my duty and my pleasure to instruct junior roosters in the ancient art of roostery. Thus says Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah, see, some people, they begin their shows with Bible verses and wise proverbs, things like that. I bring you Foghorn Leghorn. I don't know, I just felt like doing that. Welcome to Catholics Aren't Zombies. I'm your host, Chris Munier, here for another wonderful episode. But this is not going to be a super highfalutin fancy one, hence beginning the show with bizarre Foghorn Leghorn quotes. Just have a little fun here today. This is going to be for the guys primarily. But if you're a lady, you can encourage you, the men in your life, to pay attention to this very important topic, and that is men should grow a beard. Absolutely. Men should definitely grow a beard and start today. Don't wait. So many wonderful holy figures throughout history, all the way back to Moses, all the way back to the old days, have had beards. You could start within the Pentateuch with the Nazarites, who literally they wouldn't shave anything on their entire head out of a dedication to holiness because God called them to do that. Now, we don't have to go quite that far, but I'll show you some other great holy examples of individuals, saints that we all revere, that had beards. This is to encourage you to consider growing a beard as well. And it doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to be a wizard beard all the way down to your knees or nothing. I got a whole list of great saints right in front of me. We have St. Padre Pio. He didn't have a really long one. Wow, that's super handsome. For a humble guy, that's a great look. St. Augustine, he had a beard. St. Peter, he had one. It was a little shorter. You don't have to have, like I said, you don't have to have a crazy long beard. St. Benedict. Oh, there is a luxurious one right there. Consecrated religious, ascetic. Who wouldn't want to be like him? St. Gregory of Nazianzen. That guy's name is so hard to pronounce, that place he's from. Great beard. Who else? St. Maximus the Confessor. Wonderful. St. Anthony of Egypt. St. Maximilian Kolbe. You don't have to go all the way back to ancient times. Right there in the 20th century. And of course, our Lord Jesus Christ himself, as we see in the Shroud of Turin. Great, wonderful beard. You can do that too, guys. It'll help you. It will help you to look more like a man. It's a huge advantage in negotiation too. I've had my beard for about 3 or 4 years now. It makes you look older, and you automatically command more respect. You gain a huge advantage in negotiation. I'm telling you, you don't know it until you actually experience. Like that baby face look, it's nothing morally wrong about it, but people artificially, psychologically, they just don't take you as seriously. So if you can fix that, why not? If there's a way to do it, why not do that? Why not give yourself a quick, easy advantage? All right, if you need any really good inspiration on when beards were really popular and they looked really awesome, look at all the old photographs from the 1870s. Even somebody like Rutherford B. Hayes or Chester A. Arthur. There's a couple of presidents. Chester A. Arthur, he didn't have the full beard, but he had these really cool mutton chops. To me, it's like the paragon of masculinity to look like that. Compare that to the soy, overshaven, it doesn't even look like you can grow a beard look. I'll get into that in a second. Don't worry. I would even go so far as to say that having a beard deflects danger. Because I think that when you look more masculine and maybe even a little mean, oh no, there's that word. When you look like that, though, people are not going to mess with you as much. So let's say you are walking around at night in maybe a semi-questionable area. I wouldn't recommend doing that a whole lot, by the way. If you at least don't look like the wimpiest little noodle-armed soy boy in the world, you don't look like an obvious prey, at least not as much. In other words, guys, to be a man, sometimes on a practical level, you need to look the part. When you're out and about at night and you might be in a position to be attacked, you got to keep your head on a swivel, as Doug Barry says. Sometimes it helps to look people in the eye. If they're going to attack you, look them straight in the eye and tell them, hey, I mean business. You don't even have to say it. Just kind of look them in the eye and give it to them. But it works a heck of a lot better if you look the part and you look like a man, and they're going to get the message that you're not somebody to be messed with. I encourage priests, definitely, even in the Latin Rite. I know it's more of an Eastern thing. Priests should go with the St. Pius V look. I think he was the last pope who have had a beard. I hear these arguments sometimes. I don't know if this is legit or not. I've heard this argument that priests shouldn't grow a beard because when they consume the Eucharist from the chalice, and they're the only ones that should do it, that the beard might get in the way somehow. That sounds so stupid to me. Go and tell that to Pope Pius V, St. Pius V. Like, seriously. Seminarians. I think seminarians should start off with beards. I think they should enter into the seminary that way. You know why? Because I'll lay any money. It'll keep the pedo formators away. We know it. Look, let's be honest about it. That some of the professors, the priestly professors in these seminaries, okay, we know what kind of problems they've got, and it's the Ted McCarrick problem. You see, the Uncle Teds of the world, they like smooth faces, guys. We know it's an ebophilia problem. A bebophilia problem. It's a hard word to pronounce. They like boys and teenagers, not little boys, but they like girly-looking boys. There are so many examples of it. You don't believe me, research it. They like what you call twinks. I know that's controversial, oh no, he's digging into the dark side of the web. But no, that's the truth, okay? They like the clean-shaven ones. So why not reduce some of our problems with seminary abuse, seminarians getting targeted and all that, look like a man going into it? Maybe that means you wait till you're 20 or 21 till you can actually grow some facial hair. Either way, don't go in there looking like barely indistinguishable from a girl, okay? Of course you're going to be a target. You will, in fact, be a target in life if you run around looking as weak as you can. It's not a moral shortcoming, but it is a very practical and prudential matter. Not everybody can grow a beard, obviously. Hereditary factors play a role. What ethnicity you are will play a role. Like, obviously, Native Americans, they don't grow facial hair the same way as others. That's fine. That aside, your big issue with whether you can grow a real man's beard or not comes down to a very important thing, and I'm going to talk about this in multiple episodes, testosterone. You got to get your T levels where they need to be. So not everybody can grow a thick beard. Not everybody grows it to the same length. There's something called the terminal length. Maybe it'll go an inch, 2 inches, 10. It just kind of depends on your genetic makeup. But almost anybody can get at least something going there. Few exceptions. But you got to get the testosterone component right. It's how you can tell if a man really physically is a man. I don't mean to get graphic about it, but that's a great indicator. It'll tell you whether you get the testosterone test in the doctor's office or not, whether your T levels are where they need to be. How in the world do you improve testosterone? Is it just something you're stuck with and it never changes? Well, no, it does change. Your testosterone level can be manipulated. It can be raised and it can fall depending on lifestyle factors. So what do you need to do to fix those problems? What do you need to do to build testosterone? Several things. You got to pump iron. You got to get in the weight room and move the weights around. Compound lifts. I'm talking squats, deadlifts, bench press, overhead press, military press, rows, bent over rows. Those are the kind of things. Fireman carries. Oh, man, great one. Put some weight on there and walk with them. It's real simple. You pump iron, you will see a result. Got to have something to fuel that, though. Eat meat and eggs. Meat and eggs is where it's at in terms of protein, in terms of good saturated fat. You need to eat the yolk in the egg. Stop letting the wannabe medical experts gaslight you into not eating the yolk. It's important. It's good for you. Get away from all soy-laden foods, okay? Soy products. We should know this by now. You shouldn't get all of your calories from drinking Soylent. That should be intuitively the wrong thing to do. Why would anybody think that's okay? Because we've been brainwashed. Zombies. What else? Take cold showers. Cold showers will force you to breathe deeply. And breathing deeply tends to have this really positive effect on it. If you don't believe me, go and take the cold shower on the lowest, coldest setting. The first thing it's going to do within a matter of moments, it's going to force you to breathe deeply through your diaphragm. Long story short, it delivers oxygenated blood to your brain, throughout your body. That's what's good for you. Women can do it too, but men, that's how you do it, and you get this testosterone flowing. Stand up straight. Your posture is big. Walk like a man. Don't do that beta hunch. Don't do that nerd neck where your head is jutting forward and you're not confident. Literally, your posture can help you on your testosterone level. And that sounds weird, but try it. Get all these, try it. Don't take my word for anything. Go out there, test it, and you'll be able to verify for yourself whether I'm talking smack or not. One last thing, avoid everything, all the cosmetics and stuff that's got the Franken chemicals, all the foods. If you got a whole bunch of things on the back of the label that you can't pronounce, you don't know what the heck it means, that's probably a bad sign. We're already at a big disadvantage with the way women are taking their birth control pills and they're pissing the hormones back into the water supply. That's why Alex Jones has been vindicated lately with that whole, the frogs are gay, we're turning the frogs gay business. It sounds hysterical, but the sad fact of the matter is that it's true because all that damn birth control that's floating around. And despite the best wastewater treatment methods that we have, nothing's perfect. And still, there's traces of that in your water, basically no matter what you do, especially if you drink bottled water with all that plastic. There's all kinds of estrogen laid into the plastic, basically. So we were at disadvantages. There's almost no way to completely get around them. So you got to do what you can to give yourself every opportunity to gain testosterone through some of these other methods I suggested. Failing to do this is lazy. Beard or not, I'm mainly just joking. This is kind of a fun podcast. You don't got to take it super seriously, but it's super lazy not to address this testosterone thing. We have less testosterone than our grandfathers. And our grandfathers, many of whom are still alive. They might be 80 or 90. They're shaking their heads at us. 80-year-old grandpa whomever has a higher T level than your typical 20-year-old. That ain't right. And it's because of these lifestyle things. The crummy food we're eating. We're sucking down soda all the time. We don't drink water. We don't eat whole foods. We sit around all day looking at our cell phone. Long story short, we don't behave like men, and it shows up and it manifests itself physiologically, which is pretty sad. This explains why we have women steamrolling us and taking away or usurping our God-given authority. Just some things to think about. Again, don't let these evildoers out there gaslight you into hiding in your mom's basement, into accepting a high estrogen, estradiol pill addicted lifestyle. Get out there. I know it sounds a little trite. Carpe diem, grab life by the horns. Well, it sort of is like that, though. That's what we need to work on. Again, fun episode today. Nothing super serious. Grow a beard, get testosterone, be a man. And as always, you should go to my website, Ditch the State, loveholychurch.com. You should buy my book, Caesar Vacantism, on Amazon. Caesar Vacantism, Rendering to Caesar When Caesar Goes Nuts. Beat up whatever like button or rating button there is. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Do all that. It's great. Deus Vult. God love you. Have a good one.